every generation has these people whose function it is to be that icon in some way. But I think now, you know, we're seeing a lot more of them, like a lot more icons, and people, it's not just about being a singer and a dancer on a stage and that's it. But for example, I think you are certainly an inspiration to a lot of people. I'm sure your students look at you now and think, like, yes, he is the icon of strength that I need at this point in my life. And I think maybe we want a more personal, you know, as the song says, your own personal Jesus. I'm not saying that we're anything like Jesus. I'm not Madonna. I don't like controversy. I'm inspired by her, but I don't like that controversial stuff. But I will say that I think part of the reason that so many people have been able to connect to others via mediums like YouTube is because for some of us, we don't just want that person who's out of reach, who's so far away, but we want someone to inspire us in a way that's more personal, more humble, right? More immediate. And I think that you are living that already. You're already an example of that.
It's funny, it's like I get scared. Like part of me gets scared being interviewed like this and talking on camera immediately when you say that, because I still worry about what people think. And I still worry about the fact that because I put myself out there and I do want to inspire. Those are the things that I want to do. I want to inspire. I want to be able to just live my story, have the story continue to write itself, become more successful, and then that makes my success is making a better story, because it's not rags to riches, but in a sense it is, because it's from fat to thin, from almost death to perseverance in life, and that's what I want to be my legacy. Just like people like Madonna, specifically Madonna, have helped me believe in myself, believe in dreams. I believe dreams are supposed to be a reality. I think that's why we have them.
Well,
and
there's
so
a
I
saying,
won't settle into my life.
Yeah, there's a saying, God never gave us a dream without giving us the strength to carry it out. Yeah. And I do think you and I were talking a little bit earlier, I think that ambition is sacred. I actually think that there's a reason why we have that very special prompt within us, and ambition can be understood very differently by everybody. But I think of it as a desire to actualize and to make tangible a spiritual prompt. And that in turn is honoring that we are in an earthly realm.
And the difference is now, though, is that I don't take them off of Facebook or off of Twitter or off of anywhere I'm promoting them. I feel that fear of what people are saying or doing, and I'm doing it anyhow, because I learned that my biggest thing, my biggest liability that kept me down in life was people pleasing, was living my life for other people, being codependent on other people. Even when I came into recovery and people were there trying to help me in recovery, I was trying to please them, and I would always consider myself too self-obsessed or too selfish and focused on my dreams and thinking that that made me a bad person. But what I realize now is you don't achieve dreams. I can't achieve my dreams without actually going after them, without actually putting it out there as to what my dreams actually
are. The work that you're doing, I feel like it's very much an expression of your spiritual journey, and if anyone were to come up with Jock Yoga, it would be you. Like, you are the perfect person to come up with that name and that brand. I mean, it so encapsulates the way I know you. The flexibility and the spirituality, a spiritual willingness to learn about yourself and to be with yourself, which is represented in the yoga, but also like a dude, a strong dude. Like, that's totally how I know Michael.
I don't see myself as a dude so much, but
And so, tell
A
me
dude
about...
that loves Madonna.
There we go. Yeah. For the longest time, it's like I thought that Madonna equals success. And I tried for a really long time to be Madonna. But the thing is that the world already has a Madonna, right? The world doesn't need another Madonna, but the world didn't have this person, this Nadiya Shah, this embodied spirit in this body. And I think when I came to grips with that, then I was able to find my vehicle. Then I was able to take that leap to, okay, what do I really like to do? What is it really about? And so my vehicle ended up being, well, exactly what I'm doing right now in astrology and spirituality. And for you too, your vehicle is yoga, specifically Jock Yoga, and being the founder and inventor of this system. So what is Jock Yoga?
The words Jock Yoga were really blunt and really bold and really stood out and actually made me a little bit nervous, and I went back into that mode of being scared of what people were going to think, because it's such a strong statement and you never usually picture those words together. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to play music in my classes, my own style of music. I'm going to set it up to the class. I'm going to teach my truth. I'm going to teach the fun things that I'm capable of doing, that anybody could be capable of doing over time if they continue to practice. All the fun things, all the arm balances and stuff like that. And then I developed a regular follow. Jock Yoga is the belief in yourself, the belief in dreams being a reality, and perseverance. And it's kind of like exercising your spiritual muscles and strengthening your spirit and your drive and your resolve and fortifying your ambition in life. So it's not just about a flow and just about purifying the body. It's a contemporary, physical, athletic, and spiritual life practice.
What do you think of yourself? A yoga pioneer? I think of you as a yoga pioneer.
Everybody, I think of myself as the Madonna, the male Madonna of yoga.
There you go. I like that. Yes.
Well, not kidding. I mean, a lot of people don't, a lot of traditional yoga teachers, yoga practitioners probably really despise what I'm doing because they don't think it's appropriate. But the philosophy that I teach, it's spiritual principles that I've learned over the course of my life, rather than, but I mean the spiritual principles that I've learned in recovery, the spiritual principles I've learned in Kabbalah, go hand in hand with the 8 limbs of yoga, the Yoga Sutras. All spiritual principles are inherently the same.
Not only that, but all spiritual practices are living. Mm-hmm. Like spirituality and the practices, they're alive, and they are reinterpreted and communicated in new ways constantly, in line with the cultural context.
Right.
And that's part of what I really love about what you're doing, is that there will always be purists, and bless the purists, right? They keep the tradition strong at the root, but from that we need people who are willing to be inventive and creative and bring their own unique perspective to what is already there, and to make it relevant for our world today. And
I also don't want to lose the word jock in Jock Yoga, because it's also, you take that, and I don't mean just men, because I still have more women than men in my classes. I have a higher ratio of men than most people do in their yoga classes, but it's still, for the most part, it's women, but there's a lot of jock women. Madonna's a jock, right? There's a lot of ripped women that come to my classes, and they want to persevere and they want to push forward.